What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Chaos Theories. And today we're going to talk about a subject that I'm very passionate about. And I've actually done quite a few commentaries on it in the past. And what is that I'm speaking of? Aliens. As always, we have my colleague and, residential manservant, Mr. Chaos Math.
Well, excuse me. I'm not a servant.
Yeah, get me a Pepsi, son.
Yeah. Pepsi? Don't drink Pepsi, do you?
No, I don't.
All right,
Pepsi's
good.
sugary ass.
Just checking. Aliens.
Coca-Cola all the way. Oh, aliens. Aliens is something that I was scared was going to play a huge part in this series as a whole. The reason I was so scared aliens was going to play such a huge role is because it's like the Deus Ex Machina. It's the God of the gaps. When I'm referring to the God of the gaps, I'm actually referring to religion. Like, oh no, there's that R word again, religion.
Don't click this video.
Yeah, don't click this video. But religion always goes to the point of saying that if you can't explain it, a deity did it. And I'm not trying to say that's false. I'm not trying to say all this other stuff. But that's what you call a God of the gaps theory. That if you can't explain it, somebody else done it. And I'm not a very fond of the God of the gaps argument, because look at it this way. Let's say the guy who basically cured polio looked at some child like they couldn't walk and shit, be like, God made you so you couldn't walk, so it'd be against His will for me to fix you. Or like
it's all part of the plan.
Yeah,
theory.
it's like what happens when somebody goes like, well, you're born retarded, so let's not study neuroscience.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, and right. So basically, what you're saying is, you're worried that it's always going to be, if you can't explain something, aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we were talking about the Great Pyramid, aliens, or Easter Island and the Moai.
Aliens. Yeah, I hate using it as a Deus Ex Machina, especially with I have no roots other than speculation. You ever see The Amazing James Randi?
No. Who's that?
He was a magician. For a while he was known as the Amazing Randy, and after what he ended up doing is he started debunking other magicians that would claim they had psychic powers. Like his big one was Uri Geller. You remember Uri Geller?
No, I'm terrible with magician history.
He was a psychic. He wasn't a magician. Like what he would do is he would use magician-like tricks, sleight of hand tricks, and make it look like he had psychic powers. His big thing was he would take a spoon and rub it, and as he rubbed the spoon, it would melt, like it would bend, like he'd say he's using his mind.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. James Randi ended up ruining Uri Geller's career. He ended up getting in a legal lawsuit, blah, 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 blah.
Do you end up getting punched in the face by any chance by any mad magicians?
James Randi?
Yeah.
Well,
did anybody kick his ass?
No, James Randi never gave magicians secrets away. He just debunked psychics, like Miss Cleo, Uri Geller, people that believed they were like Long Island Median. You ever seen the show Long Island Median?
Actually, just before I came down here to do this, there was a skit on Saturday Night Live making fun of the Long Island Medium. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. Like.
Yeah, it is.
Like.
It is.
It goes so far to be like all the bad things happen are my fault, and the one good thing, like, let me put it this way. If I guess 10 times, and 3 out of those 10 times I get it right, which is probability, those 3 times I did it right, I'm a psychic, while the other 7 is I was wrong.
It's called the magic of editing.
Yeah, but the fact is, I just can't stand that kind of stuff, and I don't know how we got to this point of aliens. What I was trying to talk about, the speculation part. Yeah. But what I was talking about is I just didn't want aliens to be there. But I think we both agree. Aliens are real. At least they are in my heart. I can't prove they're real. I can't see them. I never have seen them. I have no proof of evidence. And it almost sounds like I'm believing in the Bible at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's sort of how it is.
But I do have a foundation for my belief, other than pure faith.
Well, you talked about probability before. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I believe in aliens as well. I think that it's an absolute impossibility that there is no intelligent life in an infinite universe. Whether or not we happen to be, in this small blink of an eye that is, the entire human history and the ability for us to be visited is another thing. But for me to think that there's no aliens in this gigantic infinite universe is just absolute craziness. That's crazy to me, to think that there aren't any. Just strictly by probability. Of course, again, you're going to butt heads with religion on this, because according to religion, there can't be aliens because, the whole universe is centered around Earth. But, I'm not going to get into that, how I feel about it, but I'm just going to say, yeah, that there's got to be aliens out there. What I'm not sure of is whether we've actually been visited or not. I mean,
or if they're even able to visit us.
Well, here's the thing.
Because I'm pretty sure they started at the same place we started at.
Right. So they've got to get here. They would have had to, develop the technology to get into space travel. If they're not using wormholes, that is, right? If they're just actually, making flights and there have entire generations are born and died on their spaceships, right? They would have had to have left whatever, say they were in Andromeda, right?
Yeah.
That's still a long fucking way away from here, right? So they would have had to have left, hundreds of thousands of years ago if they were going to land now. And so if they were going to land now, a lot of people say, oh, well, we've got SETI and we've got all these things that are broadcasting and stuff. Well, the time it would take an intelligent life form to receive that message, first it's got to travel in time to get there, and then they've got to come and get here. That they wouldn't get here for thousands of years from the closest galaxy. You know what I mean? So the chances that a life form would actually run into us are very, very, very small. And that's it's probably a good thing, because I'm going to go ahead and bet that if we do run into aliens, they're going to fucking destroy us, because we're not very nice.
Yeah, we're not very nice at all. Like, no. If we went to another country or another planet, and even if we did like the Generation spaceship, and we see like, oh, you have oil everywhere,
let's kill them.
There'd be a lot of fake handshakes there.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like, Avatar, right? Basically, we go there and we enslave them and take their minerals and stuff to try to keep our own punk asses alive.
Yeah, our society is a using society.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're nomadic people by nature. We use what area can do, and then we move on. But the fact is, we've grown so nomadic that we use the entire planet for all it's worth at all times.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing that's ever going to unite humanity to make any real big scientific advances is going to be the fact that we got to get the fuck out of here, because we've destroyed the planet.
Hunger is the ultimate driver.
That's right. And you got to feed your kids. You can accomplish pretty much anything. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be aliens out there. There has to be. There absolutely has to be. Just doesn't seem possible for it not to be going on. And it's really cool when you think about it, because it's like, there could have been, and it sort of gets into Star Wars, like a long time ago, galaxy far away. Like, there could have been the most, advanced society of aliens that we could never even dream of, but it actually happened, 2 billion years ago on the other side of the universe. It sort of bends your mind when you think about it like that. Like we think about, hit the past and future and, advancements and stuff, but there could have been a whole alien society that lived, 2 billion years ago on the other side of the galaxy that just, accomplished things we could never even dream of.
Well, every time you hear this talked about, the first thing I think about is the Drake equation. Are you familiar with the Drake equation?
Tell me. I'm a little bit, but tell our listeners about it.
Well, the Drake equation is a mathematical equation made by Nathan Drake. That he was an astrophysicist, and it basically was a math problem that dictated the probability of life on another planet. One of the pieces of the puzzle for that math problem is technology's rise. What does that mean? People always assume we have survived technology's rise. We can still snuff each other out, and it's getting closer and closer to that happening.
Yeah.
Or we, one of the societies or foundations that are just going to kill itself by actually growing and becoming smarter.
I do. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people make the big mistake that, the Cold War was the, you can breathe easy because we got through the Cold War, but
you can't breathe easy until you destroy all evidence of the atom being split.
Well, it's also more about motivation. Like, you got to think of what would actually bring humanity to pull that kind of shit. Now, obviously, political differences and superpower Cold Wars wasn't quite enough. Almost. I mean, we came close quite a few times. Not just the Cuban Missile Crisis, not just in the 60s, but also in the 80s and 70s. I mean, things got really close. I mean, I didn't even know about it, but, when the Soviet Union fell with the whole coup and Gorbachev, I mean, that could have easily gone the wrong way had the wrong people taken power in Moscow. But anyway, I think, we could very well be snuffed out because of what's about to come, which is dwindling resources. Mm-hmm. We're all the major superpowers are going to start fighting over what's left of fossil fuels and clean water very, very soon, like in the next 50 years. That sort of shit, combined with, where all the last of these resources are going to be, like in the Middle East and everything that's going on there, I think that the stage could be set for something like what you're talking about. Are we going to be able to actually survive ourselves? I think that the rough waters are yet to come in that area.
Yeah, you're correct, and I back you 100% on this, because just look at it this way. All right, say the fossil fuels start running out. Irregardless how many we have right now, let's fast forward to the point where somebody goes, sticks the dipstick in and goes, oh shit.
Yeah,
the whole system would fail. The whole system. All of a sudden you have people with cars that they just bought that runs off fossil fuels. They don't want to pay for. They turn them in. The credit goes bad. All these people turn their cars in at the same time. The bank fucking collapses. When the bank collapses, all the money in the bank goes away. Everybody loses their life savings. All of a sudden, people are broke and hungry. The businesses can't rely on the banks to finance their products, so the jobs shut down. Unemployment rate shoots up to like 99.8%. Everybody don't know what the fuck to do. They can't grow farms. They have no land skills.
Right. How many John Deere tractors that are harvesting runoff of solar energy? I'm pretty sure they all run off diesel and shit like that. So I mean, when the fossil fuels get low, everyone's going to go hungry and really, really, really fast. Because what's happened now is because there's so many people, you go to the supermarket. Where does all your fruit come from? It comes from Chile and
some stupid place all over the world. So, why the fuck do we need grapes from Argentina?
Well, because there's too many people. Because America doesn't have enough agriculture to feed us, so we've got to ship it in from all over the world, which takes a lot of fuel. So it's only going to take 2 weeks for that to stop. Literally, it would take less than a month for the entire United States to just fall into anarchy because we can't get enough food in to feed people, and they're going to start looting. But anyway, surviving ourselves to get to the point where we could actually leave Earth. The only thing that could unite us, if we could survive it, would be the fact that, we've used up all of our resources and we decided to band together. But I don't know. I guess I'm a skeptic, but I just can't see humanity pulling together.
Romney fucking scares me because of what we just spoke about.
Yeah, why? What do you think?
I just feel like Romney would take our country in the wrong direction. I'm by no means pro-Obama. I don't feel like Obama was a good president at all.
No,
I don't think he'd be a good president in a second term.
We haven't had a good option in I don't know how long.
Yeah, it's like, what goes the right to vote if there's no one to vote for?
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's just a bunch of...
Because look at it this way. It's always about job ratings. What's the unemployment rating in this state? It doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because they're all subjective. All right, so say this city has a 10% unemployment rate versus this city has a 6% unemployment rate. Guess what? There's probably another city over here that has a 4%. You're going to pick that 4 and that 6% to reflect your goals of getting in the presidency versus picking that town that, in Ohio that has a 28%.
Do you think Romney's an alien?
No, I don't. I think Romney is...
He might be a robot, but he's not an alien.
I think he'd be closer to a robot than an alien. I'm not trying to say Romney's a dumb man. He's by no means a dumb person. Somebody that makes as much money as he does and can run companies like he does is obviously a very, very smart financial man and knows how to work the system. But I think he's a easily influenced smart person.
Well, they all are, though, aren't they? I mean...
But this is political debates, and we're stopping on. The reason we're getting into the political stuff is because what would happen? Do you see Romney or Obama dealing with a missile crisis?
Not in a good way. No. Well, I mean,
who would you rather have in the driver's seat if we had nukes on the line?
If we had nukes on the line?
I'd rather have Obama there.
I would say Obama, yeah, because I think that, I don't know, Romney just sort of has that scary hubris And he seems to be a little bit too easily swayed.
I mean, look at his previous history of fucking his companies that he worked for.
Well, I wouldn't so much look into that as I just think he's got a lot of people whispering in his ear, and that's when you really don't want an impressionable person, as if somebody could just talk him into pushing the button or whatever. But
it'd be like, yeah, push the button. We'll nuke them in the next week. They won't get one fucking nuke off. We'll go take there and rape their children, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're talking about aliens here, guys. Stay with us here.
Are we? How much? Yeah. How much have we actually talked about aliens? But you know what? Hopefully you guys appreciate that we're just shooting the shit. This isn't some scripted bullcrap. But aliens. We got to stay on topic. Maybe we'll have to do part 2 so we can actually talk a little bit more about alien sightings and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but the fact is, when you talk about aliens, you got to talk about how you become an alien. And like this right here is pretty much the foundation of it. For a company such as I don't know, what's a big company? The Dow Jones.
What do you mean, like company that's
like the parasite, like a J.P. Morgan, a company with all the dough, the big money,
Amazon.
Well, yeah, bigger companies than Amazon do, like the poison companies and stuff like that.
Petrol companies, petrochemical or pharmaceutical. But I'm telling you, dude, fucking Amazon.com is turning into a gigantic company. They're going to swallow up everything, just like Walmart did. But what do you think?
But the fact is, how can you influence that right there? Because right now we spend so much fucking money on defense budgets. Why? When the most important thing we could be spending money on is interstellar travel. Because one day, that fossil fuel is not going to be there. One day, that fresh water is not going to be there.
Yeah, but Wings, the problem with that is that none of the governments think ahead. They only think about...
They think about profit margins.
They're going to think about... Well, they're going to think about short term. They think about what's going to get them reelected, what's going to take care of them and their kids, and nobody's thinking long term. I mean, no government is for years and years and years. If they would have done something about clean energy in the 70s when the scientists started telling them, look, you're going to run out of oil at some point. I mean, you have to be an idiot not to realize we're going to run out of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much stand around and start seeing it pumping out. Like, I wonder how much is down there.
Well, people argue about peak oil is going to be here.
I think peak oil's already hit.
But it doesn't even matter. Like, there's only so much shit in the ground. Like, what is fossil fuel? It's decayed organic matter from millions of years ago. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all it is. It's dead creatures.
You're driving dinosaurs.
Right. You're driving dinosaurs and plants. Right. It's gonna fucking run out at some point. So if you're not doing anything to seriously address it now they're like, we gotta get energy independent.
I just thought about something creepy though.
What?
Just imagine there's some scientists out there working on a way to turn dead bodies into the fossil fuels at an expedient rate.
Well, I'm sure you could turn a body into
just imagine instead of people, when people die, instead of getting a proper Christian burial, they just throw them into a meat grinder and be like, all right, put it in the Chevrolet truck.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah, sure. There's plenty of ways to turn a corpse into energy.
Yeah, because it's just useless energy that we're letting rot away. Well, and it doesn't rot away; it transfers into something else. But we eventually take those nutrients and put them back into the gas tank and transfer them into vapor.
Maybe they can hook some sort of hose up to your ass so that you can just shit and fart, and it will go back into your gas tank. Now that's efficiency.
All right, I think we're running out of time here.
How much did aliens did we talk about?
About 3 minutes.
Fail? Is this a commentary fail?
No, it's not a fail. This is a good commentary. It's a usable commentary.
Oh, I'm having a blast, dude.
Yeah, we're about 19 minutes in right now. We got about 3 minutes of aliens under our belt. All right, guys. We'll see you next weekend right here with Chaos Theories with Mr. Chaos Matthew Will, Wings of Redemption. Make sure you rate the video to help support the series. See you guys later.
Right, guys.
Me. Call you back.